Hi everybody, welcome back to yet another episode of HSP TV. Today is the sixth episode and today I want to discuss the similarities and the differences between a depression and a burnout, because I get asked a lot of questions about it and they have a lot of similarities, like feeling exhausted, don't want to do anything, sleeping problems, concentration problems. Those are the things that they have in common, so they're often also misdiagnosed. But there is a very, very important distinction between the two. And before I dive into that part, if you are joining, if you are watching, please type in your name, wave, and I'll give you a shout out, because I always enjoy when people are live in my broadcasts. Thank you. So here goes. The main difference between a depression and a burnout is that a depression is a mood imbalance and a burnout is an energy imbalance. So people who are depressed, they no longer want to do the things. They just cannot motivate themselves anymore, but they do have the energy to do all the things. They just don't want to anymore. And burnout people, they want to do all the nice things. They love to do all the nice things, but they are just lacking in energy. They don't have the energy to do it anymore. And that is the main difference between a depression and a burnout. Also, when you're depressed, the thing you feel the worst in the morning after you've just woken up, and gradually during the day it will improve. You will start to feel a little bit better. And with a burnout, it's the other way around. You start with a certain amount of energy and it will diminish during the day. So at the end of the day, you will feel flattened and worn out and exhausted, and you will have no energy left. So that's also a big distinction. And for people who are in a burnout, it's very important to get your energy back. And that also means listening to your body, but also doing the things that you do like while listening to your body. And that's a method that won't work for depressed people. Depressed people, they have a chemical imbalance in the brain, which is causing them to no longer have joy in their lives. Burnout is often also related to work or your company, and depression can occur in every area of your life. It can be in your private life, it can be in your friendships, it can be in your job, it can be in your company. It can manifest itself more general than burnout does. So how do you handle it? Well, that's an excellent question. If you are in a depression, then it's a good idea to find out what that chemical disbalance is in your body. And for instance, besides coach, I'm also an acupuncturist, and it is possible for me to, with acupuncture, look at your entire body, because we are a holistic practice and we look at everything and just see what is not imbalanced in your body. And with acupuncture or acupressure, if you're really, really afraid of needles, which coincidentally I am too, and I'm still an acupuncturist, so that should tell you something about how scary they actually are, which is not. But if you are still too scared, I can use acupressure, and with those techniques, I can bring back the balance in your life, in your body, and also in your mind. Acupuncture works on the body, but it also works on the mind. So if you bring that back into balance again, it will help tremendously. And that's also about the same thing I do for burnout, by the way. For burnout, we will also bring your body back in balance, and this will mean that you can restore your energy and that you will feel better really quickly. And in combination to that, I use coaching to see how you are doing, how you ended up in the burnout, what you are not doing that you should be doing, or what you are doing that you should not be doing anymore. Also practical tools in energy management, emotion management, stress management. So basically avoiding that other people suck up your energy, avoiding that you take over other people's energy, avoiding that you're taking over other people's emotions. And if in the event that you did take over other people's emotions or energies, practical tools in how to let them go again, which are very, very valuable. We will also look at making an HSP rescue kit, and we will look at feeling the level in your emotional bucket, because when your bucket is at the top, it will overflow and you're in a burnout. So it's wise to invest time in understanding how your bucket works, which actions or what things fill it up, how you can feel that, and how you can empty it in between. Because the moment you can do that, you are your own stress manager. I will tell you a little bit about my burnout. I think in 2010 I had my burnout, and at the moment, at that time, I was working in an IT company, and I had a very challenging, demanding project. It was a difficult client. A lot was riding on the project, because if the project did not succeed, it might even mean bankruptcy for the company. So there was a lot of pressure. I was a project manager, and I had to make sure that everything went smoothly, but I also had a team that I directed, and they looked up to me for guidance and also for the tasks that they needed to do. And so many things went wrong. The software that we were using, it was new, and we didn't get the support of the company that was providing us with the software, so that had a lot of problems. The testers that the clients supplied were not doing their jobs correctly, so nothing was being tested, and it meant that my team was getting into problems because they were building on code that was not tested, which could be really bad along the way, and also not what you want with Scrum. You want to test it regularly and after each sprint, so that you are flexible and you can correct mistakes easily without making that a lot of work. So there was a lot of stress and pressure there. And then we had a client who was also very demanding. And I had, well, to be honest, I had a spineless boss. Every time the client complained, every time something went wrong, my boss threw me under the bus. Everything that happened that did not go well was always my fault, even though I couldn't do anything about it because I had no say in the project. They didn't give me any power. I was not able to change things, so that raked up my frustration level. So I felt like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and as much as I wanted things to change, I was not able to change a thing, and it was eating me up inside. And that stress, it kept on building and building and building and building, and finally I felt like I was walking on my toes and was barely managing to hold on. And then my boyfriend of 7 years suddenly ended our relationship, and that was the final drop in my bucket that made it overflow, and that made me end up in a burnout. And I'm not proud of it, but I had our client at the phone at the moment, and I told them everything I was thinking, everything that I was feeling, and everything that they were disappointing me in, and all the agreements that they did not appear. And well, you can guess that was not a good action. It was not the best way to go. And the client was not happy, my boss was not happy, I was not happy, and I ended up in my burnout. And after that, my boss sent me to a famous psychiatric clinic here in Holland. They have offices in all the major cities, and he made me go there to come out of my burnout. But they use something that's called cognitive therapy, and it basically helps you understand what has happened. But I knew very well what had happened. I knew what the criteria were, I knew what I should have done, but I just wasn't able to do it. I stood up for myself, I went to my manager, but nothing changed. And being a highly sensitive person, I didn't feel like I could call in sick, because I was not sick, I was just stressed. So I kept on going and kept on signaling, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened, nothing improved, and well, that's what happened. So the cognitive therapy, it did not work for me. She gave me homework, and I needed to learn stuff from it, but I knew exactly what she wanted me to learn from it. And that's what I told her. And she said, okay, well, what do you think I want you to learn from this homework? And I told her, you want me to learn this and this and this. And she just looked at me and she said, well, yes, that's the insight I wanted you to get. And I told her, you know, I already have those insights. I know the things that you're trying to teach me, but it doesn't help. And that's when I first found out that being in a burnout and the way out of that is so completely different for a highly sensitive person compared to a not highly sensitive person, that the standard trajectories for getting out of your burnout were not working for highly sensitive people. And I thought, hey, okay. And it meant for me that I had to try a lot of different stuff. I saw a lot of different therapists, tried a lot of different therapies, and well, my own acupuncturist actually helped really, really well with my burnout. And from all the things I did, all the people I spoke to, all the therapies I did, I distilled little things, and eventually those things ended up being my tools in my coaching practice. And those were also these are the main reasons for me to have started to be in balance, because I wanted other highly sensitive people to have a method that actually works for them and that will help them to get out of that burnout fast, and not having to have so many months of trying everything like I had. And that was my main inspiration for starting my business. So if you are in a burnout, or if you are having a depression and you are highly sensitive and you want to get out and you tried a lot of things, don't despair, because the standard things don't work for us. And that's why I developed my own HSP power system to get out of it. So if you're interested in knowing that, I offer a free coaching session to everybody that is watching this, that wants to get out of their burnout or avoid a burnout for the next time, or just wants to talk to me about the things that they're experiencing or feeling. And you can book this free session on www.tobeimbalance.com/yes. In it, we will look at where you are now, where you want to go, and which steps you need to take to get there. I will tell you a little bit about my journey, like I've done now, and I will tell you a little bit about the possible solutions that I might see for your problems. And even if I am not able to help you, I want to suggest other people that might be able to help you. So if you are struggling, if you want to break free once and for all and never end up in your burnout again, claim that free coaching session at www.tobeimbalance.com/yes. I hope I gave you valuable information in the differences between a burnout and a depression. As somebody asked me, well, when I'm in a burnout, I have depressing thoughts. And that's true. When you're in a burnout, you're just so incredibly tired that you don't have any energy anymore to do all the fun stuff. Plus, you have lost faith in yourself and in your own abilities, and that can also cause negative emotions or negative thoughts about yourself. But that's something entirely different than a depression, which is a mood imbalance and not an energy imbalance. So it's true, when you're in a burnout, you can have depressive thoughts, but they are not a depression. There is a really huge distinction. Thank you for watching this episode again. If you have any questions about it, please don't hesitate to email me. If you have other questions regarding other topics having to do with high sensitivity, burnout, stress, or entrepreneurship, running your own company, stuff like that, please come and ask them to me in the next live session. Or if you cannot be there, or if you're shy, or for whatever reason you don't want to do it live, then you can also please send me your questions through email at info@tobeimbalance.com. I would love to answer all your questions, and with every question I answer, I help somebody new, and that is what I love doing. So thank you for all your questions, thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye bye.